Hi folks, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a tutorial to show you how I replace the bonnet release cable on my Landrover Defender. Regular viewers will know that it's a 1990 model, a 200 TDI, but this tutorial should be applicable to anybody that's got a 300 TDI and a TD5 as well. The cable that I had on the car was very much past its best. It was stretched, it was broken in places, and the handle was completely missing, so I could just about still use it to open up the bonnet. And when it was in its MOT, the mechanic had to phone me up because he couldn't even figure out where it was and how to use what was left of the cable. So I'm going to show you how I removed the old cable, how I threaded through a brand new cable from the driver's side footwell through into the engine bay, underneath the driver's side wing, and then up through underneath the front grille and connected it to the actual latch which releases the bonnet. So right now I'm just sort of having a look around, trying to understand how it works. I'm looking down at the sort of latch there, trying to figure out where the cable is, how it's tied on. So hopefully this video should give you guys a little bit of assistance, and yeah, hopefully it makes sense, and I'm trying to do it so that it's clear and obvious the steps that you need to take, because I did look at some other kind of online stuff, and I didn't really know exactly how it all worked until I got into it. So yeah, let's stop talking and let's start fixing the cable. Moves like that, and then in this hole, you can't really see it, but there's like a bit, this bit moves, which in turn moves this bit, and this bit attaches, it locks onto this bit somehow, and when you pull that cable, it releases it. It makes it completely straight, whereas that is offset. So you pull it, then it's straight, and then that releases this part. So it looks like we just have to, it looks like it's been tied on somehow, crudely, the end of the cable to this latch, and then here it's a clip which is also attached to the actual cable to hold it in place. So I should be able to release this and untie it from this end. So that's the plan. So what I did here was I created a diagram to show you the different parts that you need to be, you need to worry about. So you'll see the bonnet has a striker which locks into the actual the slam panel itself. You have the striker catch plate which sits on top of the slam panel, and directly underneath you have the bonnet catch assembly. Now the bonnet catch assembly is the part that connects to the bonnet release cable, and if you can see here on the left, the end of the cable loops through the latch, and then you connect it onto itself using this this brass connector, this brass terminal. The brass terminal that was on it was pretty far gone. I had to get another one. I couldn't actually get the screws out of it. It completely sort of corroded and seized up. But that was the most tricky part, was just looping it through the catch back onto itself and then securing it with the brass terminal. Actually threading through the cable itself from the driver's side footwell was pretty straightforward. You can just trace where the existing wire was. And then the other part is the bonnet release cable slam panel clip, which is on the right hand side here. This connects over the end of the sheath on the wire. One end clips over there and grips it, and the other part of the clip you push it onto the actual slam panel to secure the cable in place. The rest of the cable kind of just sits underneath the wing. It's not clipped onto anywhere. It kind of sits there free range. It just it's just kind of a simple mechanism. But I thought that maybe this kind of diagram might help you understand exactly which bit connects to which bit, and it's pretty self-explanatory. So okay. As you can see here, it's all snapped. So this whole cable needs replacing. I guess you feed it through from this side. Then sort of take this clip here, I don't know if you can see that or not. See these two screws? Will it focus? Kind of. These two, you sort of see them here. There's two screws, but I can't get them out. They're totally stiff. So I may as well just cut this wire here and then take them off. Oh, this is the wire here, and we're just going to do something like this. Can you see? Snap. Alright, nice. That's how they did it. They were like, these, I can't figure these out, so we'll leave them on there, but then we'll just tie it. That was their plan. And this is our brand new cable with a little image on there to show you what it's for. Handy. Hopefully it's long enough. Is meant for these cars, so it better be. And before we put this in, I just want to make sure that the existing wire, I make a note of where exactly it routes through. So of course there are two random cables that have been cut, left over, which also come through the same gap as this wire. They all sort of go through a hole in the wing, the driver's side wing, all just through a small hole. And I'm thinking, what the hell are these for? Are they earths? Are they some auxiliaries that were running in the front of this? And I'm trying to push them back through to create a bit more space. Well, this is kind of mental. So pulled it out, and this is just bolted on to the wing. So clearly this is meant to earth. This is an earth cable, and these are coming from inside the wing, presumably from another earth point, which is kind of strange because I had to run this additional earth back to the negative terminal through the bulkheads to get these lights to work properly. So I'm thinking that these are supposed to be earthed to the chassis. So why don't I just connect these up, and then I can remove this and see if that gives enough earth to the light. Yeah, sorry, I realise I'm slightly digressing here by fixing these phantom earth wires that I discovered, but I had to do it. I had to get these fixed whilst I was fixing the other cable. So feel free to completely ignore what I'm doing right now. But yeah, it was worth just making sure that I sorted out these rogue wires and fixed that earthing issue once and for all. So yeah, apologies if you're here just to see how the bonnet release cable is installed. Here we go, let's try and pull this all the way out. The old boy. If not so pretty. Not so pretty. Alright. So let's take our new cable, right? And then feed her through this hole here. Get in the hole. Oh, cheeky. Right, feed that through. Right, and then this end will clip onto here. But I'm going to leave that loose just now. You see, I pulled it through, and then I've kind of threaded it from there underneath this pipe, and then sort of underneath the side of the wing. So I'll just pull it a bit tighter like that, and then feed it through into the back around through this hole here, hopefully. The plastic part of the wire ends there with a hole, and I think this is the equivalent of this. So that goes over the end of the wire and then grips onto the plastic part of the outer, the whatever you call it, the sheath, and then that clips on back onto there. So we'll give it a shot. Ouch! Got it on here, and I'm just just trying to, there's a little whatchamacallit that goes on the back, and that goes on that side, and I just try to tighten it up a little bit. Yeah, it's pretty simple. So I guess you could imagine, well, that's the wire that comes through there. So imagine that's the wire coming through like that, comes through the bulkhead all the way up through the side underneath the wing, through this little hole there, and then comes in through here, gets attached to the splash panel, slam panel, don't know what you want to call it, via this little clip which goes around the plastic sheath of the actual cable, and then grips onto that and gets stuck onto here to keep it solid. And then this wire comes out here, so then you can imagine this comes out like this, and then imagine there's a little latch here that connects to this mechanism here, which goes in and releases this part, and all you have to do is thread it through the hole that's underneath there, twist it round, and then loop it round onto itself using basically something like this, where you attach it onto itself, and then obviously when you pull it from inside, pulls this, which pulls this flush and releases this part. So quite simple really.